Okay, go.
Welcome everybody. Well, you've joined us at an amazing moment. The pandas are coming out here at the world famous Chengdu Research and Breeding Center. I can't believe I'm actually here. I'm Nathan King. We're going to be with you for the next hour. We're starting here where, if you can see, there are lots of under a year old. Just look at them play. This is why people come here. Just so natural playing with each other. Taiwan, you live here. You've been here before. I haven't. I'm bowled over just how many beautiful pandas there are.
Obviously, I work in Chengdu, so I came here many times. But Nathan, this is your first time at the Chengdu base. Tell us how you feel, and most importantly, how are your friends and family feeling about your trip here to the panda base?
Well, I have a 9-year-old son, and I can tell you he's very jealous that I'm here. So maybe we don't want to dwell on that too much. But yes, a lot of friends on social. For example, when extinct in the wild, there would still be a base. We've gone far beyond that now. We are celebrating pandas being no longer on the endangered species list. This is going to be part of putting pandas back in the wild, but we'll get to all that in a minute. I just want to just give people an atmosphere here of just how you can hear the laughter probably a little bit behind me as these beautiful little pandas play. It's very early still here. It's before 10 o'clock in the morning, and there are literally hundreds of people here waiting to get in to see the pandas. They come here because it's such an iconic animal, and to be up close for the first time is an experience, I can tell you, takes your breath away. You actually can't believe you're surrounded by pandas. You know, there's so few of them outside of China. You know, I've visited zoos, for example, in Washington, which has quite a few. Just had a new one, Bei, which I was there for the birth of, and its 1-year anniversary as well. But most zoos don't have them. And so to come here to Chengdu and see, I mean, how have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is just one enclosure. There's 25 different enclosures. How many pandas are here?
I think about 170 pandas, because I was going to say, you've obviously seen pandas in DC, in America, and elsewhere.
Yeah.
You've reported about pandas, but this is something else. 170 pandas in this park alone, and we got 7, 8 cubs in this playground alone. It just puts a big smile on everybody's faces.
You know, pandas are known as solitary creatures and quite shy, but when they're young, they're just not, are they?
They play together, they fight each other, they climb, and they bite each other.
Yeah, I mean, they really do come out. And this is the best time, by the way, to see pandas. For those of us internationally who are joining us, it's about just coming up to 10 o'clock in the morning here in Chengdu's Sichuan province. And this is the time that they are most active. This is the time the keepers, as you've seen, have actually bring them out. They entice them out, not with their favorite food, bamboo, but with apples covered in honey. And they bring them out for their exercise time, and they're usually out for at least a couple of hours, aren't they?
And this is why we started our live streaming here at this playground. It's called the Panda Kindergarten, because right here are all small baby pandas. I think the youngest one is only 6, 7 months old.
Quite incredible. They are the cutest little things I have ever seen. You know, it's no wonder that the World Wildlife Fund have made the panda its iconic image. It was endangered, still very much few of them in the wild, but they just resonate with everyone. The black and white bear, part teddy bear, but also uniquely Chinese as well. A couple of things I've learned about this Chengdu research center and breeding center, is just how developed it has become. It started 30 years ago, this year, 1987. And it has expanded from what? How many pandas were there?
I think 6, right? 6.
Six pandas. And now we have over 170 or so. And it's not only grown in terms of its number, but in terms of its expertise, in terms of its research. This is literally the place where panda research, panda science is basically centralized. In partnership with all the other research institutions and zoos that are bought into the preservation panda program. But it is quite incredible to see. The facilities are incredible. It really is a world-class conservation area. But also the sheer variety of panda displays. We're here, you said, as the Panda Kindergarten, but all around this park there are lots of different displays. And, you know, you can come here for a day, but I really recommend if you come here to Chengdu, maybe to get a 2-day pass, especially if you've got kids, because they will just love it. Yeah. What did you want to say?
I was going to talk a little bit, because we're seeing pandas in captivity right now. But one of the other goals here at the Chengdu base is actually to prepare these pandas and release them back into the wild. It's actually a process called rewilding the pandas or reintroducing the pandas. Because let me just throw you some figures right here.
Yeah, sure.
In the 1970s, there are actually 2,500 pandas out in the wild. That number dropped down to about 1,800 in 2014. That's when the latest government report came out, 1,800, so significant drop.
Right.
So that's why they kept all these pandas in captivity, in order to keep their numbers stable. But that's not their only goal, because it's one thing to keep these pandas behind bars, sort of like a relic. It's another thing to release them back into the wild and see them survive and thrive in their natural habitat.
You know, that's a really good point. It reminds me of the naturalist David Attenborough, who's done a lot of wildlife, but did a really interesting thing on pandas. And he basically said Chengdu here is basically a man-made solution for a man-made problem. And if we take it back a bit, as you said, the panda population dropped dramatically. Even though hunting pandas has been banned in China since 1949, it was the deforestation, the increase of farmland, destruction of habitats that really brought their numbers down. And there was a real fear that the panda would be extinct. The world wildlife symbol would be no more. And so this organization here in Chengdu is really an insurance policy against pandas dying out in the wild. If they did die out in the wild, at least we would know, we would have a gene pool with which to build again. And it's so wonderful to see it go from 6 pandas to over 170 pandas, and to see these little critters here, the next generation. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Thrilled to be here.
Me too. And Nathan, it's probably, because I heard you're going to another location, right?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to go to another area where pandas that have been loaned out to zoos around the world are now returning to be part of the breeding program. So you're going to talk to a few guests here. I'm going to go over there, and I'll see you in a bit.
That sounds really interesting. Bye for now, Nathan. Right now, you're stuck with me. We're here at the Panda Kindergarten, and we're CGTN. We're live streaming at the Chengdu Panda base. Right now behind me we're seeing 6, 7 panda cubs, just little cuddly creatures at their cutest age. And just now my colleague Nathan and I have been talking about releasing the pandas back into the wild, and I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that. The pandas are playing here. I'm not sure if you can see, they're actually just jumping around. They were fighting each other. I don't think you can see them now, but they were fighting each other. They were dropping down from treetops. Just really cute creatures. So right now, as they play, the zookeepers are actually watching their behavior and trying to figure out which of the pandas have the quality to be released back into the wild. So they're looking for independence, they're looking for basic survival skills, survival instincts, and then the selected pandas will go through like a 2-year wilderness training project. And what's interesting about this is that one important factor of the wilderness training project is that they have to make sure that these pandas are not dependent on humans. So what they do is the keepers will have to dress in panda costumes, even scented with panda urine, to make sure that they're not too dependent on people, too attached to people, and that's when they're ready to be released back into the wild. So far, the base here in Chengdu and elsewhere in this region have only been experimenting with this rewilding program because there's still a lot of research need to be done on the topic. They're only releasing about 1 to 2 pandas every year. So far, they've released 7 pandas back into the wild, but 2 pandas unfortunately died, including the first one. That panda is believed to have died in a fighting with another panda born and raised in the wild. So a lot of trial and error here to see to really get the researchers and breeders to think like a panda, to see what's best for them once they go back to their natural habitat. Right now, let me bring in my first guest. Her name is Luoma. So can you please come here? And camera, can you give us a shot? And Luoma, can you please just introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello everyone, I'm Loma from Chengdu Giant Panda Breeding Research Foundation.
So Luoma, it's a panda expert. She does a lot of panda lectures to visitors and just panda fans all over the world. So she knows everything about pandas. But what really interests her are baby pandas, really. So tell us about how these little creatures grow up. What are they like when they first born?
Exactly, for the panda cubs, it's quite special. At the beginning, I have a question. Did you know there's a Chinese joke about the giant panda? Just like 2 dots.
那个，你看那个，是一个那个树撒欢，这一会儿就掉下来，是吧？这也要掉下来了。
你知道吗？树上有点滑，你知道吗？它抓不住这个树。
Other they even fight with each other, something like that, just for fun. But in the wild, they may live alone.
Right.
And giant pandas are solitary creatures.
Solitary creatures.
Yes.
So here in captivity, when do you separate them from their friends and siblings?
It depends. About 3 to 4 years old. It depends.
At the age of 3 or 4, are they considered fully matured adult pandas already?
And in captivity for the female, they comes to age in about 4.5 to 5 years old, and for the male one is about 5.5 to 6 years old. But in the wild, a little later.
Okay, thank you so much, Luoma. Can you just stand by for a while? Because we are going to, if time allows, we are going to take some questions from our social media fans who are watching us live. So can you just stand by for a little while?
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you so much, Luoma. Okay, so we have been talking about how these baby pandas grow up, and Luoma from the Panda Foundation was just showing me how small and fragile these baby pandas are, and she was telling me that when these panda babies were born, they're actually quite premature, pretty underdeveloped, so they need a lot of maternal care. Out in the wild, the mortality rate for baby pandas is actually quite high because the mother pandas need to go out foraging for food at least 4 times a day, leaving the baby in their cave. So there's a very high mortality rate. And out in the wilderness, in the rare case when mother panda gives birth to twins, she will have to make the hard choice of choosing the stronger baby and raise that baby, because the amount of attention and care you need to put into raising these babies is so intense that it's just simply impossible for the mother panda to take care of both of her babies and make sure they grow up. So it's a hard choice for the mother panda. Here in captivity, though, interestingly, in captivity, it's quite often for panda babies to be twins, 50% chance. So when the mothers can't have enough attention and energy, humans pitch in. So what they do is that they alternate these 2 babies. So they give one baby to the mother, and then they care for one baby, and then they switch. So that's actually a quite interesting fact that I learned about pandas. That's pretty much all I can talk about right now, because my colleague Nathan is ready at the other location, and we're going to go live to Nathan right now. Thanks for watching. You're watching CGTN Live. Let's go to Nathan.
Thanks so much, Taiwan. Well, you're joining us at another enclosure now where we are looking at Ibang. Ibang was born in 2006, but not here in China, actually in the Japanese town of Wakayama. She is basically getting on for, going to be 11 years old at the end of the year. So she's 10 at the moment, one of 2 sisters that came back here to Chengdu in 2012, December 2012, for breeding purposes. Now, you can see her eating on bamboo. Despite the rain, she has to eat as much bamboo as possible. Ibang, or Aihin in Japanese, is one of a lot of pandas here in this enclosure that were basically born outside of China. I mean, it's a Chinese iconic symbol, isn't it? Seeing a panda sitting there eating bamboo. But a lot of the success of Chengdu is actually based on the loan program of pandas outside of China. Now, it has a long history. In fact, it's been called panda diplomacy, hasn't it? Which began even before the establishment of the People's Republic. In fact, the nationalist Chinese leader Chiang Kai-shek actually gave pandas to Western countries, some say would to curry favor, including the United States. After the establishment of the People's Republic of China, it was actually banned to hunt pandas in the wild. But this whole idea of panda diplomacy, of giving or loaning pandas to other countries, still went into effect. But because, of course, China is a socialist country, and during the Cold War, they only really actually went to socialist countries. So one of the first ones was actually given to Russia in 1957. What really changed things, of course, was the warning that you and I have been talking about on air of the depleting wild populations. That's really when the sort of panda loan program really came into its own. We're talking about the 1980s here. And what's really developed since then is a virtuous circle, a sort of circle, if you like, of pandas. If a country wants a panda, they don't own a panda anymore. You don't just give it to a zoo and forget about it. They're actually on loan for about a 10-year period from the Chinese government. They still remain Chinese pandas. But what they are lent out for is scientific research, and especially now breeding as well. And there has been tremendous success in the last few years, not just about breeding here in Chengdu, but also around the world. There are other pandas here. Japan has been a success. We've also, of course, had zoos in the United States. You think of Atlanta Zoo. I'm also thinking of the National Zoo in Washington, where we've seen 2 cubs basically in 2 years. Now, what happens then if there is a successful panda birth, and we've been talking about how difficult it is for pandas to conceive and give birth and raise more than one child. If the cub is then born, then it still is the property of China and actually comes back here, mainly to Chengdu, when it's about 3 years old. And this is when they go through the breeding process. The breeding process begins as well. I don't know if you can still see Ibang. Yeah, we can. There's a nice little shot here. Kuba, our cameraman's going to walk, because this is one of my favorite ways pandas look. When their ears are pricked up like that, they look like teddy bears. And you see there munching on some bamboo there as well. Now, you know, seeing one of these pandas, everyone's watching. It's absolutely amazing. So this virtuous circle I was talking about lending out pandas, really does work in several ways. When you lend out a panda, when China lends out a panda to a zoo, a lot of people go to that zoo. In fact, there are figures to show that attendance rates at zoos that have pandas jump 40, 50%, especially in the first few months. That brings a lot of revenue to the zoos, and also helps pay for the renting of the panda from the zoo from China as well. That money is used here for research and development into pandas, both their biology, but also their diet, and also in techniques to reintroduce them to the wild. So it's become this virtuous circle. But I have to talk about the panda diplomacy aspect. There is no secret that countries and zoos around the world compete for pandas. It is one of the most iconic animals in the world. If you have one in your zoo, you know that people are going to come. And it also provides a linchpin to talk about endangered species, to talk about conservation, to talk about the destruction of natural habitats. So these are not just pandas, they're ambassadors, if you like, for wildlife in general. And China really has come to cultivate this program over the last 20 years and make it really quite a success. And the other thing behind the scenes in these zoos, as well as the massive attendance, is it creates a huge wealth of knowledge about panda behavior and panda science. So Chengdu may be the center that we're in at the moment, but there are dozens of institutions around the world that are researching their pandas when they have them, the rented pandas and the cubs, and that feeds into massive databases where they all share different aspects of panda knowledge, panda behavior, and that can be used, of course, for the betterment of the species. And it's working. We talked about 170 pandas here in Chengdu, but there are over 330 pandas, I think, in the wild, in zoos around the world. That is a dramatic increase in the panda population. Panda science has become panda science has become a real global phenomenon. Sorry, I'm just stuttering here because I've been handed a question by someone who's asking on Facebook, what's the best season to visit the panda base? By the way, we're getting questions in all the time, so keep them up on Facebook. We will be answering them in real time if you've gone. So the question was, sorry, I don't have your name, but the best season to visit the panda base. Well, it's raining here, and I can tell you it's pretty cold, but look, the pandas are out. So it is a really good time to come. You can come all year round. Pandas can cope with the cold. They can cope with heat as well. Sichuan province may be cold in the winter, but it gets very, very warm in the summer. The best thing, though, is to come early, because pandas generally are at their most active in the mornings as well. So come all year round. It's open all year round. I would maybe avoid the Spring Festival because that's when Chinese people are on holiday, and you can imagine that it's busy. Can we take a little walk, Kuba? I just want to show you the habitat here for some of the pandas, because it really is about as natural as possible. You see the bamboo shoots, you see the trees, but they've constructed these nice climbing areas for some of the older pandas that perhaps don't climb vertical trees, so there's platforms as well, and you know, they are enclosures, but they are designed to be as natural as possible, because remember, the key here at Chengdu is, as well as breeding pandas and making sure the population is stable in captivity, is to basically reintroduce them into the wild. Have we got the other panda? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, hang on, I see some. Do you see that in the trees? Hang on. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to show you earlier, but yes, here we go. This is un-beara-bly. Basically, un-beara-bly was also born in 2006, but not in Japan. This one was actually born in the United States, in Atlanta. Look how she's munching there. Wow, what an appetite! Look at that, definitely up. Now, un-beara-bly was born in the United States. Actually to the first set of twins that were ever born in captivity, and that was very important because the survival rates of baby pandas wasn't great, and when you have twins it actually becomes much more difficult to keep them alive because the panda mother has to feed essentially around the clock. But the fact that twins can survive in captivity of course doubles the chance of pandas surviving. It increases the number of pandas that can be bred up and then breed as well, and increases the gene pool as well. So it's very, very important. And this is one of the first pair of twins, I think, born in the US. Now, back from Atlanta and now here in captivity. Now, there are two other pandas that we don't have here, but I just want to talk to you about them because they're very famous. Mei-lun and Mei-huan. People may recognize them because they really have become quite iconic. They're actually in a pen just around the corner and they're asleep right now. But they were twins born in Atlanta as well, like un-beara here, and they have just come back literally to China. And I can tell you this, that pandas like this that are born in the United States or Japan, they're like us. They develop the customs of where we live. And I was hearing a great story. The panda twins that have just been returned from Atlanta, Mei-lun and Mei-huan, have adopted American customs. For a start, they have a language barrier. Their keepers are having to teach them Mandarin as well as the Sichuan accent as well. But also they developed some bad habits when it comes to their diet. We all know Americans like snack and junk food. Well, they developed a taste for American crackers, so much so that they actually refuse to eat some of the Chinese bread, some of the apples, and they've had to actually keep feeding them US crackers and put them in their food, put them in their water, otherwise they kind of get grumpy. So when pandas return here to Chengdu, the keepers really have to go through almost a naturalization process again, make them Chinese, even though all pandas are Chinese. They do that in several ways. They start teaching them little phrases around meal times, for example, that they will respond to. They try and repeat the phrases over and over again. So, you know, it's a real process here, and there has been some success. I understand the twins now are understanding a bit more Mandarin. Right, we're going to take quite a long walk now. We're going to basically walk through this enclosure. Yes, bye, Arbao. Now let's see if we can see some more, because what we're going to take you to now, we hope, is actually inside where they do a lot of the caring for the pandas, and we can go into one of their enclosures. Now bear with us, because this may not happen depending on the panda's mood and everything like that, but we've been told that we might be able to. So as we walk down here, you can see a lot of the panda enclosures. Some of them aren't out yet. What happens early in the morning here is that they actually clean the areas and then bring the pandas out. You can see one there, yeah, probably about 6, maybe a bit older, maybe 8 or 9 years old. You can also see a lot of the tourists here turning up. It is really an amazingly popular place here. People really come early in the morning. You'll see lots of kids all wearing panda hats. The panda merchandise here, by the way, is out of control. But what I do recommend is, if you do come here, don't just buy a fluffy panda. Hi guys, ni hao, ni hao. Oh, she's a bit shy. Shy like a panda. What I do recommend, sorry, I was saying, buy a fluffy panda, buy a fluffy panda hat like we saw that girl wearing, but also make a donation. If you make a donation, it goes straight into research. Oh. And if you give over 100 yuan, you get a t-shirt as well. Before we go into the enclosure, this is the enclosure we're hoping to go into. But let's just have a look at these baby cubs here. All these under about 1 year old. They're all fuzzy because of the rain this morning. And look at them rolling around in the dirt. They love it. Not so much black and white, these ones, more brown, because they've been rolling around in the dirt. But that's, oh look, you see that one? Did you get that? Yes, Cuba. That one banged his head on the tree. They really are silly animals sometimes. They're so lovable and cute, and rolling around there. Look at that. And they look like they can't do much, but I've seen them run up trees in 3 or 4 seconds. So they really are quite agile. In fact, Cuba, can you just pan this way? There we are. You see this one climbing up a tree there? And look, fighting with its brother or sister. That one, no. Oh, there we go. Down we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get in, shall we? Come this way. Hi, everyone. You can see the smiles on everyone's faces as you walk past. It's quite incredible. Oh, sorry. Shishi. Thank you. Shishi. Right, we're coming through the crowd here, and we're just going to go up here. Now you can see. Oh, this is another big one. Yeah, these enclosures are. This enclosure looks like a throne here. This female panda here is an amazing panda. We were watching her yesterday. She really loves to crunch bamboo. She's very strong, gentle temper, beautiful. Okay, back on me. So we're just going to walk this way. Oh, it's getting cold. We're going to walk this way and see if we can go inside. Hi, can I introduce you? Hi, this is Peng, right?
Yes.
Peng is one of the keepers here. She's going to help us inside, and then we're going to try and ask her some questions about the pandas, what they're up to, and stuff like that. Are we going to feed some as well?
Yes.
Right, let's go inside. Right, bear with us, because obviously we don't want the pandas to get any sort of human diseases or anything. So, and the camera might go a bit dark. Hang on, I'm just going to put the... Okay, okay. Well, I'll just keep the camera, we're changing cameraman actually, because he's already been disinfected.
The Chengdu Panda base.
I have to put
Right
these
now where we're standing, it's called the Panda Kindergarten. It's where all the cuteness happens. But right now we can't see pandas anymore because it's a chilly morning, it's raining, and these panda babies are still pretty susceptible to the elements. So there's one baby panda up on the tree. I'm not sure if you can still see it. just climbing all the way to the treetop, probably blocked by the leaves. But join me now here. It's a visitor from far away to Chengdu, a big panda fan. Let's talk to her for a little bit. Hi. So can you just first of all introduce yourself for us?
I'm Li Huimin and I'm from Shanghai, so landed last night. Yeah.
Oh, landed last night. So this is your first stop in Chengdu.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell us why.
Because we want to see the pandas.
Why the pandas? I mean, I can totally relate to you because I've been based in Chengdu for more than 8 months now, and whenever my friends come in, like this is like the one place that they want to visit. When they come to Chengdu, it's always pandas and hot pot.
Yeah. Because it was so cute and so cuddly, and the first thing you can think about when you talk about Sichuan or Chengdu is the panda. So, and also we know that it's one of the precious things for China. So just want to be here and to see how cute they are.
And how cute are they?
Oh, they're adorable. Just want to get one home.
Because right now we can't see the pandas anymore. But you were here quite early, so you got to see some of the babies. Tell us what they were like.
And so we went to see what they call like in the, I don't know how to describe it, but they were in a house. They were chewing away the bamboos, and we saw one as well, like climbing up to the tree, and like they were trying to struggle like to get down, and yeah, it's just so cute.
So this is your first stop in the panda base, the panda kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
When are you going to go next?
Well, I think we're gonna to follow the map just to see where, because we saw there's a baby panda, like the ginger ones. Yeah, I'm sure great interest in that ones.
Are you also going to see the adult pandas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, thank you so much and have a nice trip here.
Thank you, no worries.
Thank you. So probably she spoke the mind of millions of panda fans all over the world. And right now, we're actually going to bring you inside the life of a panda breeder. Probably a lot of people are jealous of his job. So please come here, Mr. Li Han. Hello. Please just introduce yourself for us a little bit.
Hi everyone, my name is Li Han, and I'm sorry that my English is poor.
Your English is poor. It's okay. I'm right here to help. I'm sure you'll do fine. We'll be fine. Like I just said, you probably have a job that most people are jealous of, taking care of the pandas. What is it like?
What is it like? How to say that? I think when you stay with Granny Panda, I'm very happy.
Very happy. Is it like, do you have a child?
I'm sorry, I don't have a job.
You don't have a child? Because I was asking another panda keeper the other day. He also doesn't have a child yet. I was asking him, once you have a child, are you going to love the child more or the panda more? Have you ever thought about that question?
No, that's a good question, and I think it's very difficult to answer it.
Because you need to really think about it. These pandas are really like your kids, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm a kid.
They're your kids. Probably taking care of these pandas is even more difficult than taking care of the child. Is that because that's what I read online? They need a lot of care and attention.
Yeah, maybe we have to stay here the whole day. You can take care of your family. So, but how to say that? When I stay with Granny Panda, I'm very happy. So I think this job is a good job. I love my job.
I can tell you're happy because you're just so cute. We saw them just now. So here's my question. As a very experienced panda caretaker, do you have any interesting stories to share with us? Is there any memorable moment?
Yeah, we can't forget that day. Meibang.
Meibang is a giant panda.
Yes, that's the name of Granny Panda.
It's what?
That's a name of a panda.
It's the name of a panda.
Meibang had the first baby that day. So when the baby was born, Meibang just linking up amniotic fluid. She left baby on the ground, so it's very dangerous.
Wait, so let me just get this straight. Meibang, it's a mother panda who gave birth to a baby panda. And then after she gave birth to the baby panda, she freaked out. She was scared. And she left the baby. Wow.
The
That must have been really dangerous for the baby.
Yeah, that's because it was very cold to put the baby on the ground. And after a long time, we have to pick up the baby and warm the baby. After the temperature of baby back to 36.5 degrees, so we decided to give the baby back to his mother.
And how did she do this time?
Uh,
Was she still scared?
because Mabon was very tired, so she was sleeping that time. So our keeper tried to wake Mabon up and give the baby back on the ground. And maybe because the baby called her mother Ging and then Ging. So Mabon tried to keep the baby in her mouth.
So the baby was just going like, Mom, Mom, I'm here, take care of me. She's like that.
Finally, Mabon held the baby. So, all
It
of
was a
us.
Basically, that's when you made sure that the baby could survive.
That's our lucky day.
Lucky day. Was it a baby boy or a baby girl? How's she doing now?
Like keep her. Maybe sometimes when you're walking in a playground, she will give you a hug.
Give you a hug. Oh, that's so cute. Tell me about how many pandas are you keeping right now?
Oh, this year we have 27 babies. Maybe this week, for example, today I take up 12 babies.
You take care of 12 babies at the same time.
With my team.
And I mean, how many hours do you have to work every day?
Maybe 24 hours.
24-hour days, and how many days a week?
Maybe 5 days or 6 days.
Because I've been following, I'm not sure if our audience know about Mei Lun and Mei Huan. Those are the panda twins, right? Born in captivity in the U.S. in Zoo Atlanta. They just came back to China last November, and I've been following that story. And I've been talking to their panda keeper, caretaker, and basically when they first came home, it was really hard for them to get used to the life back home. They're 3 years old, still not 100% matured yet. So, sir, can you move this way a little bit? Because it's prettier here, even without the pandas. Okay, but it was really hard for them to get used to the life back here. So basically, that panda caretaker, Mr. Luo, he had to live them
24 hours.
24 hours a day for an entire month.
Yeah.
And they really bonded. And they really bonded. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Lee. And can you just have any questions? That I'm
Taiwan, I know I look ridiculous. I'm dressed here for a reason. We're about to go and see more pandas. I know netizens have been complaining that you've seen too much of us humans and not enough pandas, so we're going to go into an enclosure here and look at some panda cubs. And I promise you, the camera, when we go in there, will be focusing on pandas. I want to introduce Peng, who's giving me these gloves. So we have to put on all these things so we're sanitary, we don't spread any diseases. Now, Peng is a graduate student who's been here. How long have you been here? Nearly 2 years? 6 months. 6 months, that's right. She's going to take us in to the enclosure. Let's go. After you.
Now I have the pandas into this.
Okay, so the panda's going to go into the enclosure. Just focus on the panda. Don't focus on me. Okay. We'll wait. Wait. Okay, hang on a second. She's getting the panda. Yeah, let's go in. Right. We're going to show you some feeding. Oh, now what's this one?
His name is Rolo.
Rolo?
Rolo.
That's his nickname, right? Oh, look at this beautiful panda. Can I touch him? Okay. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Right, we're going to take him into the enclosure. Guys, you don't see this, so this is a rare treat you're watching on CGTN. Right into the panda. Okay. Shishi. Okay. So she's brushing him down. Oh, hello, Rolo. Roro. They call him Roro because he's chubby. See? And he's fat. Hi. Whew. They're so pretty. Hi, we're back. Sorry, we've been playing with the pandas. They are very, very, very friendly. Too friendly in a way. You want to come back in, Pon? Now, focus on these little guys. They are very, 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 very agile. That's why they sleep so well at night, because this is some of the most active pandas. I've literally been fending them off. They really want to play all the time. It's quite incredible. You see, Pung knows how to handle them. You have to lift them up, right? You have to literally, I mean, these pants are going to be ruined. It's so funny. So funny. Look at them. This is where they learn all their instincts, right? This is how they learn their instinct, their behavior, their fighting, their claws. They're really growing up.
Curious about everything.
Yes. They are very curious indeed. They're just like a normal 1 or 2 year old. And they're so human, you know?
Yes.
They're very like human babies. Look, I've got to show you this one here. He's been climbing all over our cameraman. Hua's doing an amazing job behind the lens there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So they basically stay in the enclosure till they're about 3 years old, right?
3 years old.
Yeah. Do they? What happens to them when they're old enough to breed?
2 years or 3.
2 years old.
Oh no!
It's chaos here. We've literally got the camera guy having to fend off all. It's pandemonium. That's going to be the word. Pandemonium. Quite incredible. Yeah. Never work with children or animals, especially pandas. They're just so inquisitive. It's so beautiful to watch. They make this wonderful little sound too. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like meep 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 meep. It's not. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this grip on my leg. They're all coming for me. All of them. Oh, not there. Don't bite there. Oh! They're fighting. They're fighting each other. They're fighting my shoe. They're so frisky. You can tell that these are wild animals. Really, it's quite incredible. And they belong in the wild. And this is what this whole thing's about. Hey, you. Oh, not my hand. Look at that. Look at that grip. Incredible grip. Whoa. Whoa. They really like me, huh? They really do. They're so cute. Quite incredible. Oh, hang on. We have a question coming in. Sorry, Okay, what's this? Okay, someone's asking us questions. Can I have a panda as a pet? Look, they look really cute. They are really cute to play with, although that one just bit me. But no, you cannot have a panda as a pet. And, you know, in the old days, in the 19th century and early in the 20th century, some people did keep them as pets. And that what led to the depletion of numbers was hunting of them for their skins, because they're so beautiful, and also destruction of their habitat. No, every panda is protected under law. You cannot have a panda as a pet. The best way to feel like it's your pet is to come here to Chengdu and hang out with the pandas. There's all sorts of different ways of getting involved. There's classes, there's encounter panda moments. They really do a good job on the education and the interaction with the pandas. So no, the question on Facebook that we got, that can I have a panda as a pet? The answer is definitely no. But come here to Chengdu, because it is quite incredible. You'll feel so close to these pandas. They really are a wonder to behold, and it's just quite amazing to be here. Although you must be exhausted, because they're constantly on you all the time, right?
Yes.
It's a full-time job.
So lucky.
You feel lucky?
Yes.
Why?
Because every day I can work with them, and they're like a baby.
Yep.
And look, this means he love me.
That's right. Look at this one, Hua. Is this Roro?
双雄
This is Shangsho. And look how he loves the keeper. Holding her leg, cuddling, and the odd biting as well. Oh, hang on. They're on Hua. Let's get them off you. They're so strong. I swear, guys, if you're here, it's like fighting a small child who doesn't listen. It's like my 3-year-old is not as strong as these guys. You know? Come here. Don't eat the wire. Oh. Oh, they're so... So what are you saying? That tells them to stop?
This.
That's the mother sound?
Yes, yes. No. This means I feel stomach.
Oh.
I feel pain. Yes.
So if you're ever molested by a panda, so give this sound, and they will let go, apparently. Although we haven't had much luck, and as I'm saying that, Hua is being attacked by another one. Oh my God, you're so crazy. You're so crazy. This is so beautiful, aren't you? I know you want to bite me, in a playful way. They are so playful. They are so, and very, very strong. Very strong. Xinghua? Oh. Yeah, good a mummy. You're mummy to all these pandas, huh?
Yes.
It's one of the best jobs on the planet, I can imagine, being a panda keeper. And also, Peng is not just a keeper, she's a scientist, of course. She studies all animal behaviors, right? But pandas your favorite?
Yes.
Of course they are. Of course they are. China's national animal symbol. And right here in the flesh, quite incredible. Do you get bitten a lot? Do you get bitten? Every day? Oh, who's this one?
双雄
Xiongxiong is very young, aren't you? How old are you?
7 months.
7 months. This is a little one, this one.
No. The youngest is about 6 months.
Ah, okay. Okay. Because they don't come in here until, of course, they can be taken from their mother, and also they're very weak, as you know, growing up. When they're first born, they are tiny. They cannot fend for themselves. But look at this. 7 months in, and you are the cutest thing in the world. And you know, up close, panda eyes are just incredible. Incredible. Well, it's so nice to know that these pandas have a future here at Chengdu, and the species has a future in China. Quite incredible. I know, I love you too. It is like having a child. They are so human-like in so many ways, huh? You almost expect a little person to come out. Huh? And they love their bellies being rubbed, as I found out.
They like, we treat them like this.
Like a baby. Oh, hi. Let's try and turn you over. Ooh, you like that? Oh, yes. You like that? Oh, they're beautiful animals. Quite beautiful. So, the other questions you might be having is, I've got to put another foot thing on, I've just been told. The other question you might be having is, now earlier I talked about milk. They have a special milk here, but they also in the evening, a lot of them go to their mother's breast. Pandas are used to having one cub. We've seen in captivity sometimes when they have 2 cubs, twins, because of artificial insemination. It's a real job for them to be fed. And so therefore, they have to separate the cubs and alternate them with the mother. But these ones are definitely not being fed. Oh my God. Crazy. Oh, thank you. They keep on ripping my shoes off, my blue shoes off, and I have to keep on having them on. So after they've been here, they go into a bigger enclosure. Yeah. And when do you start breeding them? When do you try and start breeding them? 2 years old, 3 years old. Just got nipped again. I tell you. They are really, really, really. Oh, he's biting the cameraman. It's like, what's the sound again you make? What's the sound you make to get them to stop biting? Oh,
Like this.
oh, I see blood.
Send the mark.
Oh,
Distinguish.
I see. They all have a. See,
Because
what's this? So this one here
yes,
has a orange mark,
yes, this way we mark it.
and that tells you what?
This shown. Different cups we use different single and
Okay.
different arrow.
I see. So to distinguish them, they put different marks on different cubs,
Yes.
different colours. I saw this one has one on its back leg. Wow, we've got 4 people fending these cubs off. It's oh yeah, I see.
This means Sichuan.
I see.
This is black.
I see. So they put marks on them because they are quite difficult to distinguish sometimes.
But now
So that's
they are both skin black.
Exactly, exactly. They do have individual markings, but you really have to get to know them. Look. That sound she's saying is saying, oh, that hurts. Get off. Yeah, they cut through my glove here. It's quite incredible. Quite incredible. They do bite, I'm not going to lie. So that's another reason not to have one as a pet. Oh, they are so beautiful. Aren't you beautiful? Hmm? Yes. Yes, you are beautiful. Quite incredible. Quite incredible. Any more questions, guys, from Facebook? Do keep on fielding your questions while we're on the air. We don't spend often with the... Okay. Do send in questions on Facebook. We are happy to answer them. It's not often you get into a panda enclosure here. Thank you. Oh my God. I swear, I wish I had a camera to film our cameraman because he's getting it everywhere from panda cubs. They just love him. They just love him. Oh, right. So, after... Xinghua. Xinghua. They all have such great names. Some of their names, by the way, they give them nicknames to do with food. So they'll give them Chinese recipe names as well, just so they can keep track of them all. When do they start eating bamboo?
Bamboo.
Yeah.
In this period, they are try to eat the bamboo like their mother.
Ah,
And so every day we put some fresh bamboo.
right. And so they practice. Okay. So they're learning to eat bamboo now, which of course is the favorite panda diet. But at the moment they're just having milk like they would do in the wild from their mother, but actually helped by the keepers. But they also like apples sometimes, babies?
In this period, we're going to
Give-
don't let them eat apple.
Okay. So just milk? Oh, hi you.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, that's so cute. So cute. And they fight all the time in a really playful way, huh? They have... I think they're normally... Sorry?
14.
So 14 panda
In the moonlight.
in this area.
Yes.
That's a lot to look after. You get out of breath, right? Just fending them off. It's quite incredible. Quite incredible. You know, just to think that just a few years ago, it was so rare to see panda cubs like this, you know, that every one was totally precious, which they still are, but to see 14 in one enclosure is quite incredible. Okay, so be sending your questions if you, because we've got 5 minutes left here, and then we're going to go somewhere else to do some feeding. Ah! But they are quite incredible. Oh, look at this.
Someone asking if this place open to the public?
Right, okay. We've got one question from Facebook. This is a very good one. Is this place open to the public? Can people come into the enclosure normally? No.
No.
Because you're worried about disease, right?
Yes.
And infecting the animals. Because their immune system is not fully developed, and you don't want any diseases or them to catch anything. But I can tell you that coming here, if you just look over here, just a few yards away is actually the public fence, and they really do put on a big display, don't they? They are wonderful to watch. They are wonderful to watch. They really are. Now this is, we're giving you behind the scenes access because we've been allowed to, but no, you're not allowed back here normally. You see what I'm wearing, this gown, these gloves, these shoes that have been ripped off me, and I also wouldn't advise it. Look at our pants. They are not in a good state. You don't want to be attacked, but they are stunning. So we're bringing these pictures so that you don't have to undergo mauling by a panda. But it is amazing how much you can interact with them. The public viewing areas are very close to the pandas. They're always doing different things, not just sleeping, especially these guys. These guys are learning to climb a lot as well. You'll see that they do that just at the base of a tree or a bush or bamboo. This is the sort of time where they really develop their climbing instincts. You can see, oh hello, you're going to show us? Oh no, it's going to wander off. Wander off, there we go. Wow, I think they've got bored of us. Oh no. And also, Pua, do you have any more, if you can just come here, you can see he's actually trying to eat some twigs here. This is how they're practicing their gnawing skills, because remember, bamboo is their main diet. They're not actually meant to eat bamboo biologically, but they developed that. They ecologically started doing that as there was changes in their climate and habitats. So they have to really practice, because they have to eat huge amounts of bamboo every day, right? The average panda, how much they eat? 10 kilo, how much bamboo a day?
They?
The big ones.
No.
The big ones, sorry, we're being attacked again. They're so cute. Oh, you got bitten?
They only eat bamboo for fun.
Oh yeah, for fun.
No.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ow, ow, ow. I swear, it's a full-time job. Whatever money they pay you, they should double it. No. It's a real honour to work with pandas, right? It really is. I mean, it's probably one of the best jobs in the world. But I can tell you, you sleep well at night. I can tell, because this is exhausting. You know, people out there who have 1 or 2 kids, these pandas are a full-time job. They are like kids, and just as beautiful and lovable, and crazy, I think the next generation of Chengdu pandas is going to be very strong by the experience that we are just having here. It's quite incredible. They are insanely strong. See this one? You'll focus on that one, climbing up onto the tree. Right. Okay, I think we have to get out of here. Okay, Kwa. We have to get out of here. Say bye to the panda cubs, everyone. Oh, we're still rolling though. I just want to say, Peng, thank you so much. I haven't had so much fun in ages. Quite incredible. Quite incredible. Okay, as Peng withdraws the pandas, our camera person is coming this way. Okay. We're still live, and let's, while I disrobe, have you seen what a mess I'm in?
So we've reconnected. Are we live now?
Yeah, we're always live.
Okay, okay, good.
So I'm going to get out of this stuff, but you have a special guest, right?
I have a special guest, James.
Mike, give Mike.
So I do a lot of animal training, and I do also ritual training.
So we're using this now. Okay, we're using the lavalier now. So we were talking about giving the panda apples.
Yeah, that's that's golden to them. When I talk to people about training, it's like picture an apple as like 1,000 RMB. What would you do for 1,000 RMB? And that's pretty much so what a panda would do for an apple.
Why is that? Do they like the taste? Do you know that? Do you know why? The reason behind?
I mean, when you think about something like bamboo, it has really low calories, and then when you amp that up to an apple, which has like so much sugar and so many calories, the interest goes up astronomically.
It's actually interesting that you talked about bamboo, because I was reading up on pandas last night, and I don't know if this is right. Because they're omnivores, right? And they actually don't have the gut microbes to break down bamboo. Is that correct?
So it's tricky. How that works, I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't give you. I'm not sure if I'm perfectly right.
Right.
But as far as I know, they need to get the microbes from their moms. So they're going to ingest that from the feces that they get from their moms.
Feces.
The only way they can actually break down bamboo is by having those microbes. Without those microbes, they wouldn't be able to digest anything from the bamboo.
And just how much bamboo do they constitute of their diet every day?
That's a tricky question. I'm not
Because
sure.
I read 99%.
Oh, no. Of their diet, yeah, 99% is bamboo. But how much they actually consume is hard to say because, we give them whole bamboo, but it dries out during the time. And
Right.
sometimes they eat only the leaves, sometimes they eat only the shoots. So how much they actually consume is hard to say. So what we do is cool. We measure their poo. We measure their feces to understand how much they're actually consuming.
Now I think my colleague Nathan is all changed.
Sorry, I got out of my panda suit.
How do you smell like now?
I don't know, but I tell you, I mean, they are so strong, even at 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't know, Clive, you can just look at these pants here. Definitely going to send them to the dry cleaners. But they were really nipping at you. But I tell you, there's nothing like being close to a panda,
Oh my God,
right?
you're right, yeah.
Did you actually get to hold?
I did. I picked a few up.
No
People would have seen that on our
way.
Facebook stream. Can I just ask you, just
Please,
a final question? Chengdu is so amazing because it brings people close to pandas as they could ever possibly could be. But the message here is not just about pandas, is it? It's about conservation generally.
Well, that's the point. It's like you cannot just conserve a single species, and that's something that we've learned over the years. If you want to conserve an animal like the panda, you have to conserve their entire habitat. And that's what's unique about Sichuan. It's one of these global hotspots for biodiversity and conservation. So anything that we do to conserve one area will benefit all the sympatric species, like red panda.
And how are we doing on that note? Are their natural habitat is keeping decreasing or?
So China's done a huge amount of work in conserving and preserving a lot of the habitats now, and improving the size of reserves and parks. So it's a positive note. That's one thing that's come up recently is taking the pandas off the endangered species list.
Exactly.
And one of the reasons why they did that was the amount of work that's going into the reserves and the habitat for pandas.
So, we're standing here at a place that was created to stop pandas essentially from being off the face of the earth because it looked like that. Yeah. Can you see a time, and obviously there's going to be a lot of research into pandas, where places like this do not need to exist because panda populations are thriving in the wild?
Unfortunately, no. The problem now is with issues like global warming. The habitat, even though the habitat is there, the suitability of the habitat is going to decrease as temperature rises. The pandas are so temperature dependent that that's going to be the issue in the future. It's not just having space, it's having the suitable space. So, since they're so dependent on bamboo, and the bamboo is temperature dependent, where they can live is going to be completely compromised by changing temperature.
And it's interesting that climate change and panda preservation are basically the same road that we have to travel, isn't it? Considering the steps obviously China and the rest of the world, hopefully, are implementing on climate change, we can really see the effect in terms of one of the world's best loved species. It's quite incredible. So do you see areas like panda research and breeding centres like this becoming more and more expanding more and more in terms of looking after the biodiversity of entire regions? And what other species do you think we need to concentrate on as well?
Yeah, that's something that the Chengdu Panda Base is hoping to move towards. We have the largest breeding program for red pandas, and we're also interested in releasing red pandas eventually.
The forgotten, lost cousin.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
panda.
And I do a fair amount of work with red pandas, but then also increasing the scope and working more with golden monkeys, snow leopards, these other endangered species within Sichuan. Yeah.
We had one question, by the way, from the panda pen, which is why do pandas look dirty close up? I think that was because they were rolling around. Because from afar they do look black and white, but as you get close up, that colour changes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean pandas are unique, in the way that they're pretty sedentary, so they'll just plop down and sit in an area, and then they constantly poo on themselves, and then they just roll around in it. But in the truth, it gives them camouflage.
Right.
Like if they were completely stark white, they would stand out a little bit more. The question is too, if you see pandas in the wild, they're not really that white. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty dirty.
Right, because they blend in with their surroundings and obviously camouflage. Yeah,
Yep.
You don't want to be totally black and white in a forest that's green.
Exactly.
Green and brown. Panda research and panda breeding has just come on so far in the last 20, 30 years, since the establishment of Chengdu, but elsewhere. How intricate is the global network of research and breeding and knowledge sharing?
Oh, I mean, it's quite intricate. Like, a lot of the work that we've done and the successes we've had have been on part of these partnerships we have with different zoos, throughout the U.S., through Japan, through Europe. It really is an international program and has benefited greatly from that.
And still, though, we still don't know a lot about pandas because they're kind of a unique species in so many different ways.
Yeah, there are a lot of missing gaps, but it's great because it's still questions that we can answer, it's still things that we can work on. And it's part, if we knew everything, I wouldn't have a job, right? So, I enjoy the challenge of working with them.
It's a very interesting conversation, but I think we only have time for one last question, Nathan.
Yeah.
Can I get that question?
Of course, I'm sorry.
I'm getting some feed on social media.
I'm
Please.
totally over-enthusiastic. You go.
Okay, one last question from our social media fan.
Great.
Can I keep a panda as a pet?
No. It would be a really, really bad idea. I love playing with them. I love staying with them, but they're a tremendous amount of work to deal with. Like, the amount of work just to have the bamboo available for them, it's a bad idea.
Having just spent half an hour in a pen, honestly, it's like having children. You love them, but they're a lot of work.
And believe me, the bite from a 1-year-old panda, the bite from a 1-year-old panda is far worse than any dog bite that you could imagine.
It's got a couple of scratches, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're great animals. James, I think we have to go, right?
Yes.
I'm Nathan King. Thank you so much for joining us. James, thank you for joining us.
It was great meeting you.
And you.
And I don't have a hand to... Let me just...
Okay, it was great meeting you.
Great meeting you, James. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Take care. It's nice having you guys.
And Tawan, thank you so much for bringing us into wonderful Chengdu, Sichuan. I know this is where you live, work, and breathe every day.
It's my turf. It's my turf.
But it is a real honour to be here. I feel this is a life-changing experience.
I'm glad you liked it, Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much, both.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Are we still live? Bye again, everyone.
Just wave them out.
Yes, 1 minute.